What happens to the things we love when we die? Will our friends and family keep them to remember us by? Or do they find a new home? Become part of someone else's story? Would we follow them into these new homes after the dust in our bones disappears? Where do the pieces of our history end up? Could we forge such a connection that it emerges as a sort of anchor to the past? So cherished are our heirlooms that even in death we remain bound to them, unwilling to let them go. There is a place where the air itself seems to remember, a place where the veil thins, and those who listen may hear more than they wish to. A setting haunted by a series of strange events. Here, the echoes of the departed linger, not only in the silence, but in the very things they once loved.
It's all just smoke and mirrors. Nothing is as it seems. Take me for a ride. I follow deep inside your shattered dreams. It's all just smoke and mirrors. Never trust in what you see. Every time I follow blindly, it just leaves me right back to me.
Time's Tin Cup Vintage. A unique little shop of treasures. It's a fitting title for a place whose very essence is entwined with its history. It lies right off Main Street in the quiet, picturesque town of Denville, New Jersey. Its owner has always had an eye for collecting elaborate and interesting antiques. But ever since she opened her doors, a series of unexplained incidents have befallen her and several others.
At least once a week, a customer will come downstairs and ask, if I live upstairs and do I ever feel weird? And I go, no, I don't live here. And they go, yeah, I just feel like somebody's up there watching, or things like that. People will say things like that to me. In the library, it looked like a snowstorm in there. And it was just like a blizzard suddenly descended through the room. It was like these bright white, like rainish or sleet, like all the way. And I went, whoa, those are different than the orbs in the other room. There would be multiples of them floating, but they wouldn't just float in one direction. They would come up and then they'd veer and do interesting patterns and shapes. And they would be different sizes. Some of them would be large. Some of them would be these little white, Tinkerbell lights, really small ones. There would be ones crawling across the floor. They're wild.
I'm dusting and I change my direction in which I'm working. I look into the kitchen area and I see this man walking by. But I knew I had been alone for, I want to say 30 minutes to an hour by myself, just upstairs. There hadn't been anyone upstairs. And I see this man walk by and I was sort of like, come downstairs and ask Laurel, like, was there a man here? And she went, yeah, like an hour ago. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I saw somebody upstairs very clearly and I just wanted to let you know. Laurel was enjoying some time off and away. And I remember looking over, and it's like right to this area just beyond where we're sitting now. And I could just see him. I could just see a man just standing there, just crossing his arms, just watching me. On and off throughout that entire day. He sort of would just come and go. Like the energy would change and I would feel like, he's doing it now. Like I feel someone standing here now.
So I went up the stairs, and as I was going up, I just felt a subtle change in an electrical field, and my hair started standing on end. And as I looked into the room, I saw her. She was sort of standing there like she was ready for a service or ready to schedule something, or it was just some kind of service. There's something wrong with her eyes. Like, like you could tell a dog's old by looking at their eyes. I walked downstairs and I informed who became Laurel. I met her name later on. I said, you have a ghost upstairs.
Employees, customers, and even Laurel herself have all felt it. An unsettling presence that defies explanation. It wasn't until a local investigative team named 9 Lives Paranormal arrived and began researching the phenomenon that an underlying pattern began to form.
We were just forming as a group, and we were looking for locations, and this place called to me. I found them online, and out of all the places that we work with, not one is an antique shop because it really never lends itself to paranormal investigation. At that point, I actually reached out to the owner, Laurel. She was absolutely interested in having paranormal investigators coming in, because she, felt that there was some sort of energy going on in the building.
I had probably one of the most profound experiences I've had in 25 years of doing this in this shop. We were all in the attic working up there, and I needed a battery, so I came down here where my equipment was. As I was getting my battery out of the case, I heard a phone ring. A phone like a wall phone, the kind you can almost hear vibrate. And I heard it ring 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And in my head, I thought, well, the voicemail will pick it up. She must have a store phone and the voicemail will pick it up. I went upstairs and I said, Laurel, just so you know, your shop phone rang and it must have gone to voicemail and you have a message. And she said, I don't have a phone. And it wasn't the kind of phone that you heard in the distance. It was like it was on the counter. And Laurel didn't think of it right away, but a couple minutes later she said, let me show you something. And she took me to the back of the shop and showed me a big box of rotary phones that had just come in.
As soon as I walked in the door, this place has that feel to it. There was a male and a female that instantly hit me as soon as I walked in the door. Going down into the basement, you just kind of feel like a more heaviness that kind of like creeps into the space. Walking towards the back door down there, I felt like I was pushed. So this was a situation where I turned to Laurel. I go, does anybody feel like they're pushed here? She goes, a lot of people report feeling pushed or feeling a heavy presence over them. So I volunteered as being a psychic medium. I said, I'll go into this crawl space that's down in the basement. I was affected for about a good 24 hours, where I actually, in the space downstairs, as we're having the investigation, my friends all around us, Lisa, Gail, Kara, said, Rich, you're not yourself. And I can tell you, I felt angry. It physically affected my mood. I had to step outside. I had to ground myself. And that doesn't happen often, where spirit actually affects me. So that's how strong this male spirit is, where he can actually physically affect your mood and your attitude.
He's complicated. He's very complicated, this man, because we've all seen him and experienced him. And there's also a very strong religious component to him. What I do know is that on this property, there was a Reverend Benjamin Reed, who owned this property with his wife, Harriet. This would be about the 1850s, 1860s, 1880s timeframe. It's not every day I do research on a location and find that a reverend actually lived on the property. I mean, that's very unusual. So I have a feeling the man in the basement has been there for a long time, and he's making himself known maybe a little bit more now, because Laurel's very open to it. There's multiple investigations that have been going on, and since they've started doing investigating in here, the activity has increased.
Could the male presence felt be this Reverend Benjamin Reed? What about the woman who is always seen in the kitchen upstairs? The 9 Lives team decides to do one more investigation, inviting us into the shadows.
Okay, so I actually had the idea to bring holy water tonight. When we were here last time, we did have some activity that seemed to be more of, or what it appeared to be, a malicious or negative entity. I'm not saying for sure that's exactly what's happening, but that's why I brought this. You know, so I thought we could use this just to see if we do get some sort of a response from that. I almost feel like if anything, it would either validate or totally squash the idea that what we're dealing with down here is more of a negative or heavy presence. Yeah. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses. I just got really busy.
Yeah, I just...
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
That's weird. That doesn't happen to me.
Temptation,
Deliver us from evil. Amen. That's when it really started. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Those who trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. You okay?
Wait, what? Oh, you okay?
Let's not do that anymore. We don't need to do that anymore.
Okay, EVP session number 2 in the basement.
I'd like to know who it is that's down here that made me dizzy and made Kim nauseous. Please state your name.
Are you the man who travels from the basement to the attic? If so, what is your name?
Okay. We are in the basement, second day. Did I piss you off by sprinkling holy water and praying? Who's back here? Oh my God.
We were just playing back the EVP session, and I had asked who's down here, and extremely loudly as I'm speaking right now, it said, I am a man's voice.
Yeah, we all heard it.
Yeah, I heard it.
It was
Yeah.
clear. And even
You would've-
Roland over on the other side over there heard it.
Yeah, it
That's
wasn't
how
a
loud it was.
whisper. It wasn't.
Yeah, no.
It wasn't one of the typical EVP
Right.
voices. It was like one of us said it.
Electronic voice phenomenon. They are mysterious sounds, unexplained voices captured on audio recordings. The moment this EVP was heard, no one else in the room was speaking.
Who's back here? Who's back here?
Who's back here? Who's back here?
Throughout the night, there are several other unexplained EVPs that are recorded by the team's audio devices.
The mistakes you may or may not have made are forgiven. The mistakes you may or may not have made are forgiven. Are you a human spirit? Are you a human spirit?
Sometime during the investigation, when everyone leaves for the night, something unexplained happens to one of the overnight infrared cameras. The security camera turns on its own, as if whatever was in the attic didn't want to be filmed. The attic only has one entrance. Either of the two security cameras positioned across from each other would have caught someone coming up or down the stairs on video. Nothing was captured all night. So how did this camera turn itself towards the wall?
I honestly think that the activity has to do with this place itself and all of the objects within it. I mean, all these objects have some sort of energy from its previous owner attached to it, and it's imbued with all that, you know, those memories and or trauma or whatever those people, that their lives. Having it all in here, it's just like a battery, and it just charges the entire place.
Spaces like this are almost like a perfect storm, right, for spirit attachments. So now you have thousands of items that have gone through life with people, been at deathbeds, been at celebrations, toys that children played with that are now long dead, and they're in this space. So now you're bringing them here, okay? It's already an active location. You're bringing in more energy that's attached to these items. We've all kind of felt things when we walked into places. Whether you walked into a room where an argument happened, you could kind of feel the tension, right? Well, the same thing with items. And when you hold an item, you kind of can feel like, okay, I have a good feeling about this. Or if you hold a knife that was used in a murder, you kind of can feel that. You don't need to be a medium or a psychic to get bad vibes off something. We all have that intuitive knowing about objects.
Are there supernatural entities connected to any one of the many treasures in the shop? Or were the spirits here before these tangible reminders of lives come and gone? Maybe their essence is bound to these things they once loved. Maybe these pieces are their way of connecting to the living. Objects held so dear that it still makes them feel alive, even when they are no longer with us. So if you are ever near the town of Denville, come visit Laurel's shop. You might leave with more than you bargained for.